Hi everyone, I am Flora Rubio and I'm the host of today's webinar. So I think we're going to start now. So I've been working at Deiser for 8 months now as a head of marketplace sales and partner manager. And today I must say that I'm really excited to show you the most significant improvement we have ever made to Profields. And we're also going to show you how it can help you to take project tracking in Jira to the next level. So I'd also like to introduce you Federico Baronti, who is celebrating today 2 years at Deiser and who is in charge of a very successful product support department. I'm also here with Leo Diaz, who has worked at Deiser for 8 years and who has been a huge asset to Deiser and Profields development. So Leo, after being in charge of our services department for several years, is now leading the product team. And of course, I would like to thank you all for attending, and please feel free to ask any question in your webinar console, as Fede and Leo will be hosting a live Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So here is today's agenda. So we'll begin with a brief look in the fundamental problems which are solved by Profields and which led us to build this add-on. Then we'll cover how to solve those problems and how to get a better project tracking in Jira. And then we will show you a full demo of how to track your entire portfolio of Jira projects thanks to Profields and some of the features that we consider mandatory to achieve this task. Then I will be excited to show you the main new features of Profields 7 that we've launched a few weeks ago. And just to give you a taste of what awaits you, I can tell that it includes releases view and automation for Jira integration. I will then share with you some of the tips and the main takeaways of the presentation. And as I just told you, we will end up with a live Q&A session. So again, do not hesitate to ask if you've got any question. So before getting to the demo, I think it's really important to remind you which problem we're trying to solve here thanks to Profields. So let's go back to basics. So it is a fact that over the last 10 years, Jira became the most powerful issue tracker product of the market. As you already know, Jira is ideal for agile or support team to get every relevant information in a unique place. Jira is a product that brings solutions to task or ticketing management, but not only to agile or support team, but which is increasingly helping business teams such as marketing or sales department, for instance. But this added value is always and only from the issue level. And that's when we've started to wonder, okay, how to go further than this issue level and provide some answer from a higher perspective where you could track, classify, and categorize Jira project data. So basically, Profields was made so you could finally be able to do some Jira project tracking and understand a bit better what's going on into your Jira instance. So before getting deeper into the tool, I thought that would be interesting to remind you who is Profields for. Well, I reckon that anyone in charge of a large portfolio of projects who needs to get a higher level view in Jira would love and need Profields. So who are those people? Well, basically that can be either a team lead who would need to take some strategic decision based on real Jira project data, or a consultant in charge of running and classify projects for a customer. And last but not least, a Jira admin who will definitely appreciate some of the features that can help in order to save time. So just so you know, Profields right now is available for server, data center, and cloud. But I must say that not all the features that we're going to show you today are available for the cloud version yet. However, it's definitely part of our strategy this year to improve the cloud version, and we are carefully listening to our existing users to check which features should be released in the next months. So let's focus now on how we pretend to give answer to project tracking thanks to Profields. Well, I would say that basically all the features that we have created in the past few years help our user to improve the project tracking. So let me explain you how it does exactly. So the first area here is data. Data is a key focus when using Profields. Thanks, for example, to the ability to create custom properties on your project. Then you've got notification. Well, the same way you can be aware of an issue change in Jira, you will be able to subscribe to any project that matters and be notified of any relevant change at any time. Then we've got operation. Well, this feature is highly appreciated by our users and more especially by Jira admins, as it helped them to do massive changes on a large amount of projects. I'm going to show you later, but this feature is what we call the bulk operation. So that means that thanks to Profields, you can not only track your project data, but you can also operate on them, which is a real game changer for our users. Then we have created different views for our users to display those projects. So first you have the list view, and recently we have launched the release view, where basically you can see a timeline of all your project versions in Jira. And obviously, when we talk about project tracking, we need to talk about follow-up. So as you are able to track information that matters to you and your business, you won't miss any relevant information around your project development. And the last one, and maybe one of the most important, is the reporting. So I will show you during the demo how you can get real-time reporting on your project thanks to Profields. As our add-on help you to track project status or project priority, for instance. Okay, so now that we are all on the same page and we all understood where is Profields coming from and which problem we're trying to solve also, I think it's time to look at the product. So for this demo, let's pretend you are a project lead, okay? And being a project lead, one of your tasks today is to identify how many Java projects your team is currently working on. So as I mentioned earlier, the current native version of Jira doesn't give you the ability to find this information quickly. So now let me show you how Profields can help you to get this data. Well, obviously you will get in Jira and you will open the project tab. Then you can check on view all projects and you end up on what we call Project Navigator. So here you can add easily programming language and project status. So those are the fields that we have previously created thanks to Profields. They are custom fields that you can add on your project. So here you can check the information you've just added. So programming language, project status also, and then we're going to ask Profields. Okay, so I'm going to check in the programming language and select the Java project. And obviously what I want is only my project as a project lead. Perfect, project lead. So now I can easily see all the information that matters to me, and I can save the filter also. So let's name it Java project, and I can save the filter for my next search. So here was the first step of how you can use Profields. So I just show you how to get more data and how you can follow up also on your project thanks to that. Okay, so now let's have a look at the notification. So notification is one of the last features we have integrated in Profields. And today, let's say that being a project lead, what you want to know is which project have been changed during the last week. Well, to make it simple, we'll keep the same example of a Java project. So look for the Java project filter you've just created. Perfect. And now you can click on the email icon on the right, and you can create a new notification. So we'll call it weekly subscription. And as you can see, you can choose different options. So here I'm going to choose to highlight only the updated value from the last email. And I want a notification on Monday at 8 a.m. Perfect. So now you can schedule it. And you can also check all the subscription you've got. So here we've got only one, the one we've just created. And now what I want to show you is how the notification looks like. So let's go back to my project, and we're going to do a bulk operation on my Java project. Perfect. So now that I've got the project, I can click on bulk operation. I can select the project field, and I will decide to change a project status. So the new status being the ongoing instead of ready. So now that I've got 17 selected projects, I can confirm. And here it is. I've got like 17 projects updated with a new status. So now let's wait on next Monday and see which kind of email you can receive. So this is the email you will receive with, as you can see On the right, the updated value, which is the project status coming from ready to ongoing. And you can get also all the list of updated projects. So Profields offer different way of receiving notifications. So the email icon I just show you is one of them. The other one being the ability to watch projects. Okay, so you can follow up on specific projects. Okay, so now that I can get more data, I can get notification. How can I operate on my project? Well, as I just show you, there is like a great feature in Profield which is called bulk operation, and this one, according to our customers at least, is one of the best features that offer Profield. So I just show you how to change a statue on a bunch of projects. Now we'll focus on how to add a user as a developer on more than 100 of projects. Well, this time I'm going to select the project where I am the project lead. Okay, so I will look for my project. Perfect. So this time I've got 110 projects, and I will click on bulk operation. So I want to add this time a new role. Go to role, and I will add a new user. Perfect. So I will say that Flora Gant will be a developer of my project. Then I just need to click on next, confirm that I want to update 110 selected projects. And here it is, the magic happens. So now you can see that 110 projects have been updated. If you expand here and you scroll down, you can see a list of updated projects. So the bulk operation is a feature that is a must for most of our users. Because of spending hours doing the change manually, you can do it in few clicks and saves a lot of time, so you can focus on what really matters. The next feature I wanted to show you is the view. So I will say that this is the home page of Profield, okay, where basically you can get access to all your projects. So this is what we call the project navigator. So basically we try to improve the way you can display those projects by offering two types of view. So the first one being the list view, and the other one the release view. So let's see again how it looks like. So if you go on the project tab and you select either list or releases, so you can get in and get your list view, or you can select the release tab, and here it is. You can see a timeline of all your projects. So let's go back to your project as a project lead, and you can select, so in the programming language, your Java project, and see how it looks like. Perfect. So here you've got your 17 projects, and you can pick one. Like for example, we can select the Profields public backlog, try to expand, and here you can see different release of this project. So what is great here is that you can put the mouse on the circle and get a pop-up with several information. So in that case, we can find the start date, the release date, but also the status of the release. Yes, thanks to this release view, we're answering to the famous question, like, what are the next releases of my project? So this view is perfect to see a timeline of your release version in Jira, but this feature is also great to share release information outside from the product team. Like, for example, marketing department who needs to be aware of the next release, and they can get ready for the communication without even asking to the product team. So Profield is also a good tool to break silos between teams. So obviously follow-up, as we mentioned earlier, is really important too when we talk about project tracking. So now that we've seen few features and we're almost done with the demo, I wanted to show you how your project look like exactly thanks to Profield, okay, and where you can find all the information, manage your project data, and follow up on them. Well, we'll go on the same project, so the Profields public backlog, sorry. And here you have what we call a layout. Okay, so this layout is made of different information, different fields, either native or custom fields. And we can choose directly from the layout to change the statue. So here is the live statue. Another feature which is really great on this view is the history, because here you are able to see exactly what happened to your project. So what are the updated values, who has changed the value, when, etc., etc. And again, I've mentioned earlier the watch project. So here it is. You can decide to select it, so you can receive notification on any change. So that can be either the project status, for example, that I just changed, or that can be the priority, or any date or budget that can be relevant for your business. And the last one is the reporting. So we are going to stick to the example of programming language, and we'll look for the following information. So how many projects per programming language do I've got across my portfolio? So because we know that dashboards are really important for the Jira users, we have decided to optimize them, creating some gadgets, okay, to focus on project reporting. So let's pick a dashboard, so a project follow-up that I've created before. And I can see a few gadgets here. So all the gadgets you're going to see are from Profields. So you can check our documentation if you need more information around all of them. So let's create a new one. I will pick a Profields gadget. In that case, I will pick the pie chart gadget, and I will configure it. Awesome. So you can choose the filter you want the information coming from. So in that case, I will pick the all project. Obviously, the field, in that case, that will be the programming language, because this is the field we are focusing on. But again, that can be any information, and the pie chart type. You save it, and here it is. So here you can see like a real-time breakdown of your programming language. So for example, you can see that you've got 12.5% of Java being developed in your project. But what it's really important to take away from here is that you can display every kind of information you want. And again, reporting coming from Profields information, but also from Jira. So now that we've seen all the product features I wanted to show you, well, we've got more obviously, but that's the main features when we talk about project tracking, and that I hope that you are already thinking of how you could use Profield to your own business. I think the most important here is to realize that Profield is not only custom fields, it's much more than that, okay? And we can really help you to get a better project tracking thanks to those 6 key features I just mentioned before. Okay, so as some of you already know Profield, and you've already been using it for a while, I think now it's time to show you what's new in our brand Profield 7. So we have picked 2 main features among like several improvement and new features. But just so you know, we've also improved a lot the user experience to make it much easier for you to get your insights using Profields. One of the new features I wanted to show you is the releases view. So even if you saw a part of it, I think it's totally worth it to get a bit deeper in the feature. So as you saw earlier, release view is basically a timeline of your product version where you can see all your project, you can expand and see all your version, but you can also choose to select them by criteria. So in that case, I can choose either unreleased or released, and you can display any project and any version of your project. Another option that I really like here is the time frame, because you can choose the date that matters to your search. So let's say from October 2019, from early June 20. So here on the screen, you can see both past release and oncoming release. Okay. And again, you can expand and get more details thanks to the pop-up. So Here you can also change directly the release date from the pop-up. So don't freak out. This option is only available for some of you. We have in Profield created a new role that we call the Profile Administrator, where basically this Profile admin can manage and delegate a role and permission. But yeah, going back to the feature, I think it's really efficient, and we really believe that that can be a really good asset to any software team. And again, that can help to make it easier for anyone working around the product release. And yeah, I think this new feature will be loved by customers simply because most of them were asking for it for a long time. So this feature being the integration of Profield with automation for Jira. So as you probably know, this is an app recently bought by Atlassian. So this integration is part of few others, marketplace integration. So as you can see on the graph, Profile is already integrated with strong apps such as EasyBI or Elements Connect. So for those who don't know automation, it helps to create automatic rule and tasks without having to manage any custom script. So basically our customer were asking for this integration to get automated rule on a product level. So to do so, we have added 3 new triggers. You can see them on the screen on the right with the Profile logo. Basically, those triggers being when a project is created or when a project field value is updated or when a project is deleted. We've also added a new rule on the project level. But yeah, so let's see how this integration works. So we are going to create a new rule. So let's say that when an issue is created, so you can save it and say that the action will be to update a project. Perfect. So I will click on that, and then I can choose which project will be updated. Well, it makes sense to update the same project. And we're going to say that the project status will switch. So in that case, it will go live if an issue is created. Then you can name your rule. So we're going to give a descriptive title. So status go live when the issue is created. Then you create it. And here it is. So your rule is now live. So let's see how it looks like. So we're going to go to ready project, and we're going to create an issue on this same project. Perfect. So new issue, you just have to create it. So now we're going to wait a few seconds so automation can proceed to the task. And then if you refresh the page, here it is. So the statue had changed and is now live because we have created a new issue. So obviously here there is a vast range of use case regarding this integration. So to help you starting with this integration, we have created few use cases. And I will be happy to send you a link so you can download them. Okay, so after the webinar, I will send you an email with some information. So I hope you enjoy what you've seen. We try to keep a light demo because I know how overwhelmed it can be sometimes to get too much information. But before starting the live Q&A session, I just want to underline a few aspects of the presentation. So I think, and I hope it's now clear that Profile is much more than custom fields on a project level, because it can really help you to solve the task of cleaning your project portfolio and bring you a bit like deeper project insights. Then, thanks to the view that we offer, you can work and operate on your project data, and you can get like all your information in a unique place regarding your project. Then there is some features such as bulk operation that give you the ability to save time by doing massive changes in few clicks. And obviously the real-time reporting. So not only with the gadget that we've included in your dashboard, but also thanks to the integration with EasyBI, for example, or Exporter.